Welcome again children in geography class. Let's continue with the chapter atmospheric pressure and winds part 2. Today we are going to learn about the different pressure belts of the world and the types of winds. There are different pressure belts on the surface of the earth as you can see from the figure also. So, let's start first with the equatorial low pressure belt. Now, the question arises why it is known as the equatorial low pressure belt. Children, first we should know the extent of the equatorial low pressure belt. It is from equator, that is from 0 degree to 5 degree north and 5 degree south of the equator. That is the extent of this equatorial low pressure belt. So, children, we all know the equatorial line divides the earth, equator divides the earth into two equal halves. Northern part is known as northern hemisphere and the southern part is southern hemisphere. So, as the equal divides the earth into two equal halves, we all know the equatorial regions receives the vertical rays of the sun throughout the year, and due to this vertical rays the temperature increases and pressure decreases. So, on the equator low pressure area is created, and children, we all know the temperature and pressure are inversely proportional to one another. That is the reason as low pressure area is created here. So, that is why this belt is known as equatorial low pressure belt. Now, in this area there is a calm air and very little winds, as well as in this area the southeast trade winds and the northeast trade winds also converge here. So, because of this convergence, this area is known as ITCZ. Now, what is this ITCZ? That is intertropical convergence zone. That means the meeting of the northeast trade winds and the southeast trade winds. Due to this, what happened? Due to this convergence, the horizontal movements of winds are absent in this area, and due to this the calm conditions are created in this area, and that is why the equatorial regions are also known by the name the doldrums, because there is absence of wind in this area. So, that is why it is also known by the name doldrum. Next is subtropical high pressure zone, and its extent is 30 degree north and 30 degree south of the equator. Now, what happens here, as we have studied in the equatorial low pressure belt, because of high temperature the low pressure area is created, a vacuum is created. So, what happened? Air rises upward in both the sides. So, when the air is rising upward, so what is going to happen? A vacuum is created in the low pressure area, and after rising to the certain amount, the air stop rising because it cools and is obstructed by the tropopause. And so, as the air is moving upward, it cools and the air becomes dense. So, when it becomes dense and it is stopped by the tropopause, it sinks down. It sinks down, and a high pressure area is created in both the hemisphere. And why it is known as subtropical? Because this is the area above the tropical region and adjoining the tropical region. So, it is named as a subtropical high pressure belt in both the hemisphere in northern and southern. As the air is descending in the subtropical high pressure area, there is an absence of horizontal movement of air. That is why in ancient times, when the people used to sail their ships, they usually follow the direction of the winds. But as this area there is no horizontal movement of the air, they used to unload their ships or cargo or horses. Otherwise, the ship can sink in the water. So, what happened? That is why they throw their horses or cargo into the water so that the ship will not sink down. So, this area is known as a horse latitude also in both the hemispheres. So, this subtropical high pressure area is also known by the name hottest latitude in both the hemisphere, and this is an important question, children, that is generally asked in the examination also. Next we have the polar high pressure belt. So what is the extent of polar high pressure belt? That is from 70 degree to 90 degree north and south of the equator in both the areas, right. So children, what happened here, the sun rays are inclined here in both the hemisphere. As the sun rays are slanting here, so temperature is very less, it's very cold here. We all know cold air is dense and it sinks down. In the northern hemisphere, the air moved towards the south, and in the southern hemisphere, the air moved towards the north. And that is why, because of the inclined rays of the sun here, less temperature, high pressure area is created in this zone. So from this high pressure, from the northern hemisphere, the winds are moving towards the south, and from the southern hemisphere, the winds are moving towards the north. So here this converges. So what happened after the convergence? When they converge, then air rises and creates a low pressure area in this region, that is from 60 degree to 70 degree north and south of the equator. A low pressure area is created in this area, and that is why, children, you will say that it is a high latitude area, the subpolar region, and then also why the low pressure area is created. This is one of the reason, that because of convergence a low pressure area is created in this area, because when convergence occur, air rises and creates a low pressure. What is the other reason behind that? Because in this area, the subpolar area or the polar areas, because of the rotation of the earth, the Coriolis force is maximum in this area, and because of this the winds move towards the outward. So when winds move towards the outward in both the hemisphere, what happened? The low density of the atmosphere is created, and because of this a low pressure area is created in this area. So that is the reason that subpolar low pressure belt is there even for the high latitude then also. So children, with this we have completed the word pressure belts. Let me conclude here. In the next video, children, we will study about the types of winds and their importance. Thank you, children. God bless you all.